Blackstone presents Dragon's Teeth by Upton Sinclair. This book is read by Bronson Pinchot. In tragic times like these, an elderly author has nothing to give but words. This collection of words is dedicated to the men and women in many parts of the world who are giving their lives in the cause of freedom and human decency. Autumn, 1941. Book 1. The Morning Opes Her Golden Gates. 1. The Old Beginning. 1. Lanny Budd was the only occupant of a small-sized reception room. He was seated in a well-padded armchair and had every reason to be comfortable, but did not appear so. He fidgeted a good deal, and found occasions for looking at his watch. Then he would examine his fingernails, which needed no attention. He would look for specks of lint on his tropical worsted trousers, from which he had removed the last speck some time ago. He would look out of the window, which gave on one of the fashionable avenues of the city of Cannes. But he had already become familiar with the view, and it did not change. He had a popular novel on his knee, and every now and then would find that he could not interest himself in the conversation of a set of smart society people. Now and then, one of several white-clad nurses would pass through the room. Lanny had asked them so many questions that he was ashamed to speak again. He knew that all husbands behave irrationally at this time. He had seen a group of them in a stage play, slightly risque but harmless. They all fidgeted and consulted their watches. They all got up and walked about needlessly. They all bored the nurses with futile questions. The nurses had stereotyped replies which, except for the language, were the same all over the world. Oui, oui, monsieur. Tout va bien. Il faut laisser faire. Il faut du temps. C'est la nature. Many times Lanny had heard that last statement in the Midi. It was a formula which excused many things. He had heard it more than once that afternoon, but it failed to satisfy him. He was in rebellion against nature and her ways. He hadn't had much suffering in his own life, and didn't want other people to suffer. He thought that if he had been consulted, he could have suggested many improvements in the ways of this fantastic universe, the business of having people grow old and pass off the scene, and new ones having to be supplied. He knew persons who had carefully trained and perfected themselves. They were beautiful to look at, or possessed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?